Where am I? What is this place?
His gaze was locked on the crystal ball on the altar. Feeling the intense pull it emitted, the light was like a magnetic field, drawing every inch of his skin, as if touching it would grant him the answers he had longed for. However, he knew that behind this temptation lay a great danger.
You have embarked on the path of summoning the strange.
The mysterious voice echoed again, this time with an undeniable authority. The trial ahead will determine whether you can become a true summoner of the strange.
The path of summoning the strange.
His heart tightened at the thought, but he drew in a deep breath, stepping resolutely toward the altar. Each step felt like walking into an unknown abyss, but the faith inside him made him fearless. As he stood before the altar, about to touch the crystal ball, its light suddenly grew blinding, and the temperature of the entire space began to rise sharply. The air around him thickened with a burning sensation.
Come on.
He shouted in determination, placing his hand firmly on the crystal ball. In an instant, the crystal ball emitted a deep, rumbling sound. The light erupted outward, twisting the surrounding space, and Meng Zuan's body was sucked in, as if entering another world. He lost control of his body, and the scenery before his eyes rapidly changed. The surroundings shifted from bright light to a profound darkness. Within seconds, Meng Zuan found himself in a completely unfamiliar place. The air was damp and heavy, filled with a decaying odor, as though he had entered an ancient, abandoned ruin. Giant stone walls and broken statues surrounded him, and the atmosphere was thick with an indescribable oppressive presence.
Where am I?
He furrowed his brow, vaguely sensing that this place was not familiar to him. As he looked around, a deep, low growl suddenly echoed from the depths of the darkness, followed by a flash of crimson light that illuminated an area ahead.
What was that?
He turned sharply, only to see a massive figure, radiating the scent of decay, slowly emerging from the shadows. It was a grotesque being, covered in thick scales, with curved horns on its head like sharp blades. It continuously emitted chilling growls. There was no humanity in its eyes, only endless malice and ferocity.
A lesser strange god.
His heartbeat quickened. This creature was clearly a lesser strange god. Although its aura was powerful, it was still far weaker than the golden entity.
I'm going to fight something like this.
A lump formed in his throat, and his nervousness crept up. But he quickly steadied himself with a deep breath. He knew this was his moment to grow. He couldn't retreat now.
Golden light.
He called out in desperation.
No worries, Meng Zhuo. This is the first trial you must face. If you endure and defeat this lesser strange god, you will gain the power you deserve.
Meng Zhuo nodded, feeling a renewed sense of determination. His hand involuntarily gathered a strong light, and the power of the golden entity surged within him, forming a brilliant light shield that enveloped his body.
Come at me.
He whispered, eyes locked on the lesser strange god. The lesser strange god suddenly charged at him, letting out an ear-splitting roar, and the air around it warped under its immense strength. Meng Zhuan quickly sidestepped, evading the attack. However, the beast's speed was remarkable, and its massive claws, sharp as blades, swiped at him, sending a powerful gust of wind.
Damn it!
His heart tightened as he raised the golden light shield just in time to block the attack. A loud crash echoed as the golden light shield collided with the creature's claws. The immense force sent Meng Zhuan stumbling back a few steps, but he fought to regain his balance.
Not bad.
He muttered, a flicker of determination in his eyes. The strike had been powerful, but it didn't break his shield. His strength was enough to withstand it.
You're still far from defeating me.
The lesser strange god sneered, its eyes glinting with greed. It lunged at Meng Zhuan again, opening its massive mouth to swallow him whole. But Meng Zuan's eyes flashed with resolve. He leapt into the air, narrowly avoiding the attack, and reappeared behind the creature.
Now it's my turn.
His eyes brightened as he quickly formed seals with both hands. Golden light surged from his palms, coalescing into a blade of light, which he swung toward the creature's neck. The lesser strange god twisted in a desperate attempt to block the attack, but its movements were too slow. The blade of light cleaved through the air, hitting its target with precision. A bright flash of light pierced the creature's neck, The lesser strange god let out an enraged roar, its body falling backward as the ground trembled beneath it. It struggled, still unwilling to surrender, and charged at Meng Zhuan with ferocity.
It's time to end this.
Taking a steadying breath, Meng Zhuan stepped back, feeling the golden light energy rapidly depleting within him, while the lesser strange god continued its relentless assault. His eyes narrowed, and the golden light began to converge into an even more powerful force, ready for the final strike. Just as he was about to unleash the attack, the lesser strange god suddenly charged at him once more, attempting a final blow to defeat him. Meng Zhuan's gaze hardened, and he brought down the light blade with a swift, decisive motion. The creature's desperate roar filled the air, but it was cut off as its body was severed cleanly into by the golden light. The lesser strange god exploded into a mass of blackened debris, its decayed essence evaporating as it disappeared. Meng Zhuan stood there, panting, his eyes locked on the fading remnants of the lesser strange god. A complex feeling rose within him. This was only his first step, but it seemed this trial was just the beginning.
You have passed the first trial.
The deep voice resonated again. Next, you will face even greater challenges. Are you ready?
I am.
Meng Zhuan's expression grew grave. He knew the road ahead would be even harder.